Hey guys, what's good? I hope you guys are healthy, doing well. So I want to take this time, right? Because I asked in the chat, what are your biggest struggles right now, both for artists and producers? And a few guys responded in here. A few guys hit me up on the side, and then I was able to talk to a few of you as well, one-on-one. But I wanted to kind of compile it all into a video. So to answer like the first question I got with producers was, how do I build more revenue? How do I grow my business producing with artists? And the answer that I have for that, which works, is think like you're a big corporate business. And how do they grow their clients? Is they'll scale their revenue, and they'll start reaching more people, but they do it on, usually they'll have clients on a retainer. So if you can find, right, this is the way I described it yesterday to one of the guys that I was talking to. If you can reach out to 100 artists a month, and you can start building relationships with 4 or 5 of them, and one of those artists per month is looking to spend, $300 to $400 on production, engineering, whatever it is. You only have to do that for 12 months before you have $3,600 per month in income coming in. Right? 1 year, finding one artist a month who is looking to spend anywhere from $250 to $400, and you are set for the entire year, bringing in more money than most of America who works. Um, and that's scalable. It's ridiculously scalable. It's easy to find, okay, I can't handle all this anymore, but I know this is coming in, so I'm going to find someone else who can handle the engineering, or someone else I can add to the production team. Um, Understanding the business model like that is extremely helpful. And so if you're not at a place if you're at a place where you don't feel like you can truly give a service that's worth that much money, whether that's one production or 2 productions, or if that's a few productions plus cover or plus engineering, whatever it is, if you feel like you're not at a point where you can deliver that, your first thing should be to grow your skill base so that you can feel comfortable basically uh, commanding that type of price. Um, it works. It works time and time again. Even if you're doing graphic design or something like that, whatever type of creative you are, this can be applied in anywhere else. And yes, it's going to be hard to find the artists that are willing to spend that. But realistically, what you're doing is you're basically taking 1%. If you're reaching out to 100 people a month and you're getting one person, that's 1%. Um, you only have to have 1% success rate. And I know a lot of you won't do this because you won't reach out to 100 people. I know a lot of you won't do this because you just don't want to put in that much work to get there. And like that's fine, but don't assume that it'll grow on its own without putting in that level of effort. It sucks that that much has to go into it because we're so oversaturated now. But you can also say, I'm going to trust the fact that this journey is what I'm meant to be on. It might take a lot longer. You might find that one artist that clicks really well, and you think they're dope, and you start producing a ton of stuff for them, and then they blow up, and you get your royalties off that. I mean, that's another way to do it. But if you want to do this professionally as your full-time career, say in the next year or something, you got to find a way to pay bills and build revenue on top of what you're already doing. And it's like, if you can say, oh, I can afford to only have 5 paying clients, and then that lets me work with 6 other people who I believe in, who don't necessarily have the same potential, in my opinion, to get there. Or it could be, there's 6 other people who I believe in so much that I truly think are going to get to that level, and like then we'll make revenue off of royalties, but they don't have enough money to pay me. So it opens doors as long as you can cover expenses month to month, whatever it is. That should be your first goal. So some of these other questions. Keeping inspiration going between sessions. What I found works for me most, and this was actually recommended to me by a guy that I really, really respect in the music industry, was like, just start trying a lot of different things, and whatever gives you the most peace, I don't know why I'm so tired. It's been a crazy few days. Whatever gives you the most peace, whatever clears your mind most, and whatever gives you the most, I guess, like just creative energy. Maybe that's taking a hike. Maybe that's reading a book. Maybe it's watching a movie. Whatever it is, start just experimenting with all those things, and then make music afterwards. Make music. See what happens. If you know what triggers your inspiration, your creativity, it's so easy to just open the door, go do that activity, come back and be refreshed. Some people it's going to a coffee shop and relaxing, but whatever it is, just figure that out. But experiment with it, because if something small like going for a walk clears your head and gets you back in the zone, then all you need to do when you hit a block is go for a walk. If that doesn't work, move on to part two. Maybe that's going grabbing cookout. Whatever it is like you just got to know what those triggers are for your creativity, and that just comes with trial and exploration, and sometimes they change over time. And just being able to adapt to that and continually explore, because you got to realize that creativity is outpouring of the within, and if you're not honest or you don't understand your within, you're not going to be able to pour out and create effectively, especially when those times come when you don't feel inspired or you feel you've hit roadblocks. That's usually coming from inside. So if you can clear that, step back into the game, you'll be in a better place. So other ones, mental game. I'm doing 50 to 100 track takes for a vocal track and not be satisfied. So I think something that I want something weak, fake, or inauthentic. Kind of what I just said. Creativity is all an internal game. There's people I know who are like, man, I really want to do hip hop, but they'll rap, and it's like, no, you'd sound so amazing with pop. They're like, I want to do hip hop, and you're like, why? And they have some affinity towards that culture and that sound and what they're doing, but if they blended a sound to something else, it would sound 10 times better. And sometimes that's vocal tone, sometimes that's just background, sometimes that's just truly what they believe in. And it's like, I think internally, right, when we as artists write something, think about if you were standing on a stage in front of 100,000 people, with Taylor Swift, with Drake, with Kanye West, with all those people up there, front row. Would you feel comfortable saying what you're saying? Would you feel authentic? Would you be able to say it and not feel like, oh wow, they can tell that I'm like cheesy or fake, whatever it is? Because if you can say that truly authentically from inside, then you should be fine. And that just comes down to more practice, more refining of your voice, which takes a long time to be able to refine your voice, to know if you're doing hip hop, where you're rapping from, within your chest, within your throat, where your tonal noises basically are being created, or if you're singing or whatever you're doing, you got to know those two things. It's like, what's in here, like deep down, what do I believe in? Who am I? What's just a representation of me? And then on the other side, it's like, how am I using my voice, my mechanics, my toolbox to make that effective? So it's like an easy fix for that could be just take voice lessons and dive deeper into your spiritual journey, into your self-exploration. Probably gonna come out and be like, wow, my voice has never sounded better. I'm never happier with my takes, and it's really is that simple. Another question: writing lyrics as an artist, I want them to be quality, enjoyable at saying while believing what I'm saying. Same type of thing. In terms of writing quality lyrics, I've written so much not quality lyrics. I've written so much that's just like it's just garbage, and it took that much writing to get to a point where I have a grasp now on writing, and it's like just refining that process over and over again. It's like, don't be afraid to flush it out. Like, you're still, hopefully you're still going to be doing this in 5 years, and hopefully in 5 years, I know in 5 years it'll be better if you're just working at it, not just coasting through. But honestly, it's just a refining process. And the other thing that I think helped me a lot was when I really started diving I had 5 artists that I truly was amazed by their music. And I thought it was amazing from a vocal side, from a production side, from a mix side, and I basically just consciously analyze those tracks every single day as much as I possibly could. Whether it's the way that they're rapping, the way that they're singing, the way that they're writing, how they're doing their hooks, um, how they're structuring their songs vocally, right? And deconstructing it. And when you can deconstruct it, and you'll know when you're at a point where you can like pick up. I know why Drake songs pop. Besides how much money they put into marketing or whatever, it's because of the way he writes music. It's very, very catchy. It's very, very different, and a lot of people don't really break it down and realize the way that the patterns that you do, noun, adjective, verb, whatever it is, in a repeatable pattern. It's like you have cadence, you have melody, you have tempo, but you also have repeatable syllable patterns, and then noun, verb, adjective patterns within songs that capture the listener's attention differently. That's something that I don't know if I could think about on the fly and give a good example, so I'm not going to try, but I'll probably do a follow-up video about that, because like understanding that thing makes a huge difference. Like listen to Drake's music, listen to 21 Pilots, who's some other amazing lyricists. Honestly, listen to a lot of Justin Bieber's new album, and you're gonna be able to pick up like they all write different music, but the way that they write music is very similar. And that's why they're so huge, is because they use the same structure to make it like, the way that the listener relates to those tracks is different because of the way that they write the music. And that's what it's all about, capturing their attention. You have melody, you have tempo, you have production, you have the sound of your voice, and then you have, yes, both what you're saying, but more importantly, how you're saying it. And I'm not talking about tone there, I'm talking about structuring those vocals, whatever it is. On the producer side, personal problem, storage space. Dude, honestly, just get like an external drive, copy, or a solid state drive, copy over your entire laptop, whatever desktop it is, all the old stuff, put it on the new solid state drive, and you can even keep it running, plugged in, and then just wipe your computer. Put it on there, wipe it, you're back to however much space you had to start with. And gosh, if you are, wow, totally lost my train of thought. If you don't have much space to begin with, right, just start working off of a solid state drive or a hard drive, something like that. I think I do 95% of my production, all my samples, all my sessions, everything are saved onto a drive. So that might help. But crashing with a complex project, there's not really a whole lot you can do. Something from a production side that I've had to do a few times is like, okay, I've got my whole scratch project session, and I have the melodies, I have the drums, I have whatever it is, and then I'll mix a few things in there, and then I'll bounce the drums down. This sucks, and it takes a long time to do this, but this can really help save that that song and the power. It's like bounce all the drums down into your one track mixed, and then put that into a new session, bounce your melody down, put that into a new session, and now you're working off of like melody, drums. You can do a bass line with effects, not overload your computer. And then open a new session once you have that, bounce the bass line with effects, bounce the drum, you have the drums, you have the melody, and then you can do like, more counter melodies and effects, and then you've got that mix, and then you can just bounce that down, and then you can throw it into a new session and do vocals on top of that. I'm not a fan of that process, but it's standard when it comes to huge projects with a lot of processing power to just kind of do like a cut and paste type of thing across different sessions. I'm trying to think of some of the other questions that people had when I was talking to them in person, and a lot of them was about like social media content and growing an audience, and the way you grow an audience is first by identifying what your motives are. If you're a producer and you're like, hey, I want to grow my audience, why is that? Do you want to find more paying clients? Do you want to grow listenership for your catalog, and that in turn will obviously grow your audience and grow your streams. Do you want to just generally get awareness of the fact that you're a producer? All of those are going to be different. One's marketing, one's advertising, one's PR. You know, and you guys need to, not the proverbial you guys, just me included, but need to think about that more clearly when you're saying, I want to grow my pages, or I want to grow my social media. You have PR, growing your personal brand, and just general awareness of what you're doing. You have marketing, which is, I want to get more people to listen to the music. And you have advertising of, I want to get more paying clients coming through my door. And whether you're an artist or a producer, you know, adjust those motives as necessary. But every single one of those will be accomplished differently. You know, if you're doing PR stuff, it can look like sick videos, behind the scenes stuff, really building up your brand, making it high quality, making it repeatable, making yourself stand out, whatever that is. If it's marketing, doing things that are going to drive people's attention, drive people's engagement to the music. Maybe that's music videos. Maybe that's not advertising, but just like marketing collateral, whatever it is. And then on the advertising side, refine your business structure, and then you got to start putting out stuff that's going to bring people in. Maybe it's collab projects every month. Maybe it's, I'm going to give away 5 free beats, and I'm going to try to sell 15, and I'm going to use the 5 to sell the 15 because I'm going to find a few people who are really interested. Whatever it is, merch giveaways, that type of stuff. And I don't even practice what I preach in that sense as much as I should. A time's coming where theoretically I will, but not yet. Been bogged down, but that's the general structure, and that's how it works. That's how record labels do it. That's how big businesses, they understand that principle. And as small artists, being able to understand that really puts the power or the ball in our field to just go out and get it done. They work. They always will work. They always have worked. And if it takes time. It takes a long time. So many people want to go, I want to get 1,000 followers by the end of the month, where that's going to be 30 followers a day. Okay, there's probably a lot of ways you could get 30 followers a day or thereabouts, if you really want to do it. If you spend 2 hours a day growing your social media, interacting with people, reaching out to people, following pages, liking stuff, I wouldn't put it past it to get 30 followers a day. So if you're like, I want 10,000 followers by the end of the year, then you better be shooting to get 30 ish followers every single day. It's just a repeatable process. You just focus on these small, repeatable steps that'll move you towards your end goal. If you know what your end goal is, chances are those steps are going to get you there, whether it takes half the time or twice as much time or 3 times as much time. Either way, you're going to get there eventually. So just focus on the repeatable process, not on always on the end goal and the fact that you're not there. Don't be measuring success on that huge of a scale, because it's usually going to defeat you. Just think, do I have 30 more followers than I did yesterday? Do I have 10 more followers than I did yesterday? Did I get 1 more paying client this month than I did last month? If the answer is yes, did I bring in $100 more than I did last month? If the answer is yes, you're in the green. You're golden. Because at the end of a year, at the end of 2 years, which you should be in this for the long run, that is going to pay off so much. Anyway, just want to do all of this relatively quickly, under 20 minutes here. Sorry about the yawning. Been a crazy few days. Hit me with any other questions, and I'll see you guys around.